I am a medical massage therapist. I teach yoga. I own a spinning business, and I'm a health coach. So, and right now, I'm one of those people that I like to get into stuff like something passes by me and I think, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And I've been watching this movie Arrow for like a couple weeks. My kids are big into Arrow and they do stick fighting. It's called Kali. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right. I'm like, oh my God, I want to try that.
Are you trying to Arrow on Netflix?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
So awesome. I love it. So
and
I've been
Vicky.
There she is.
Hello.
Hi, Vicky.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Hey, well, thanks for getting off tonight. We thought you weren't going to be able to make it for like an hour or two.
I'm happy to be off. Trust me.
Chef life.
Yes. Everybody has to eat. I guess people have to eat every day, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
That's the idea. Awesome. We're so excited to have you on here. You are pretty much all of what Road to Wellbeing is about.
Okay.
And it is about taking care of yourself every day and, little steps, baby steps. And I'm excited to share your journey with everybody on Blab. If you guys wouldn't mind, just tell a little bird over there and we can get some more people to hear Vicky's story.
Yes, that'd be great.
I saw that Vicky told a little bird and she told her aunt on Facebook. That's a new feature from Blab within the last couple of weeks to share it to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I'm going to do that right now too.
Yeah, I just did it. I saw it. I was like, wow, let me tell everybody. Well, I posted the link on there earlier, so.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, we are excited to hear your journey. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Do you want us to ask you questions or do you just want to tell us?
You ask me questions and it'll lead to me telling you whatever. I go off on rants, which is good because this is very informative rants. So.
All right. I think one of my big questions for you is what was the biggest motivation that you finally decided that it was time to turn things around? What happened in your life or in your head? What bridged that gap where you saw a vision and you decided to go for it?
Let me get my years right. Probably my daughter was about 6, 7. And I had to visit the emergency room because I kept having this constant headache. It wasn't like enough to keep me awake, but it was like when I went to sleep, I had it. When I woke up, I had it. So I went to the doctor and visited the doctor. And she said that my blood pressure, she didn't even know how I was walking around. My blood pressure was sky high.
Wow.
Really sky high. And that time I was working a lot and eating fast foods and, doing the fast thing and not thinking at all. So she tried to hospitalize me at that moment, but I told her that she couldn't do that because I was a single parent. So it was just me and my daughter. And as a matter of fact, that on that day I was to pick her up from school. And if I was hospitalized, I wouldn't be able to pick her up. So I said, okay, just tell me exactly what I need to do to get rid of this high blood pressure.
That must have been so scary. I can't imagine what that was like to be put in that situation.
Yes, and we did blood work too. And I was very, very close to diabetes, borderline diabetes.
Wow.
Diabetic. So that scared me a lot because my dad died of hypertension and diabetes. It killed him.
Wow. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So, so I came home that day and I made up my mind when she told me that she wanted to admit me to the hospital. I made up my mind at that moment that I was going to change. I was ready right then.
What did that feel like when you finally made that decision? Was it scary? Were you nervous? Was it like a thank God moment where you were excited?
I was super nervous because I was like probably about 420 pounds at that time. As of today, I just weighed I'm like 158 less than 420.
Wow,
So
that's awesome! Congratulations.
I've lost a lot of weight because I decided that day, the next day when I woke up in the morning, I had to change my whole thinking around. Like when I usually woke up, cooked breakfast, took my daughter to school, went to work, but I woke up earlier to walk before I did all of that. So I fit it into my schedule on purpose because I had to. That was my way of getting my mind right. I had to do something.
So that was pretty much your first step, is getting up and taking a walk. How long or how far was your walk? Just that first day?
The first day, it almost killed me just going around the block.
Okay.
Around the block is probably about, I'd say, 1/8 of a mile. So, and it almost killed me. It took me forever to do it. And I was very much out of breath, but I didn't care. And she also informed me that I should not eat the sweets and salt. And I was drinking things like Hawaiian Punch, the red one, Sunny the Diet, Coca-Cola. Sometimes I drink Diet Coke to make my mind feel better.
For the caffeine, yeah.
Yeah. But I truly learned how to manage what I ate. And it started then when she told me that it's either do that or let me hospitalize you. When she said that to me, I knew that I had to make a change. So I just started reading, books. She gave me a few pamphlets to read. And from those, I just went from there. And I've been eating a lot of protein ever since. Protein and vegetables, mostly. I do.
Now, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when she told you that you had to make that lifestyle change, did you realize that you were down a path of what you were eating was wrong? Or was it this like brand new news to you? You thought everything you were doing was okay?
Well, I thought it was pretty much okay because it worked for all those years,
Right.
It worked up to that point. So I felt like I was doing fine, except the slight little headache that I had. Every day I had a headache. I was like, I took the BC powders, like one every morning. It was like a part of a routine. And I was like, wait, there's something wrong.
Right.
So I finally went to the hospital and that's what she told me. And I mean, of course I knew I was overweight, but I don't think it had clicked in my mind that that was not a good thing.
I actually met Vicki on Facebook. And I love your Facebook page. You have so much inspiration on there. But tell us about Zumba, like when you started in class and how it went from there.
Okay, so Zumba, I remember the year that I heard about it. And then that same year, I kept thinking about, maybe I should try that because I've always loved to dance. And I love music, especially in, like Caribbean music or Latin music, because it has a lot of rhythm to it. So when I
At what
started,
part of your journey did you start Zumba?
I had lost about 40 pounds when I first started Zumba, about 40. So then I,
Wow.
yeah, about 40 because of what the doctor told me to do. And then when I found Zumba, I was still pretty large. So I was right at 400 pounds when I started it, when I started Zumba. And it was kind of hard for me to take that first class because I knew I was going to be the biggest person in there. I knew it. And it felt super uncomfortable. It was totally uncomfortable, 100% uncomfortable. So, but I knew that the reason I was there was for myself.
And that's the most important person.
Yes. And I'm the only one
Yeah.
that can do it. I mean,
Right.
So
I
how
could,
long did you take Zumba before you decided that you wanted to be an instructor?
it didn't take very long. It was like a needle in my veins the first day. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yes.
So,
Well, that's what's really inspiring is the way your class came about and your first class. Tell us about like how you became an instructor, and then tell us about your first class.
um, so I kept taking classes at the same place, and I had my same little spot and it was all the way in the back corner of class because I didn't feel comfortable with anybody really watching me do it, but I did have fun doing it. And once the music started, it's kind of um, strange because the music can take you to another place. You're listening to music and you are like in the Caribbean sipping on, an adult beverage or something. It can take you wherever you want it to take you, basically. So that Zumba class, that whole hour, every time that I went, something good happened to me in each class, mentally. I didn't even realize the physical part at first. Mentally, I was like, oh yeah, I had a lot more confidence about myself. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, you do so good, da da da. So a couple of months passed, and I decided at a little under 350 pounds that I wanted to become a Zumba instructor. And I think I lost my mind at that time or something. Because I knew that there was no such thing as this. Also, the way it made me feel, it helping myself, it did so much mentally for me. Still at this point, the physical part was not even important. The mental part was the most important part of what kept me coming back to Zumba. It made me feel alive, and it gave me mental confidence about myself. And it also, I noticed that even the classes that I was taking as a student, more and more people that were on the heavier side started coming out to Zumba. And that's where I said, okay, I'm going to be an instructor, and I'm going to focus on people who have weight problems or weight issues. And you don't have to have these issues to come to my class, but that's what I want to focus on.
That's awesome. What a great, yeah.
So
When you started in Zumba, did you still have the headache? Sorry, Nick.
Oh no. Oh no,
Okay.
by then I was flying all over the place. They were gone. My blood pressure was definitely controlled by then. And it has been since then. And that's, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, it's a great thing. So my first class, Nikki, you asked me about, my very first class that I had, it filled the studio wall to wall people. And probably about 3/4 of them were people who considered themselves very overweight. And that changed my whole life. It made me want to do it more and strive. I was striving at that point to reach that audience of people who had no confidence about themselves, or
How
who
many
felt
people were? How many people would you estimate were in the class?
it was about 60.
That
Wow.
First
uh,
class, about 60 people. Because up to that point, I had we were students together, and then of course I'm the instructor, and I'm in the front of my class. And the funniest part of me being a teacher, and it's as an instructor, is that everybody that was on my spot were in my place mentally at the same time. My spot that I had in the studio, that same spot was used by people who had low self-esteem. They needed a mental boost at some point. So it's just amazing what group exercise or fitness, how good it can help a person, especially from a person who's been there and done that. And trust me, I've been there and done that.
Joan's
like
been trying to get into the room. Joan, if you want to try to refresh, we'll try one more time. Or if you have a question for Vicki, you can put it in the comments.
It's kind of amazing how much it took you to go to that Zumba class for the very first time, and then you started to meet the people and they inspired you, and then you decided to get certified, and now you were the inspirer.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of crazy how that full circled for you.
It was a full circle, and like a monopoly, it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And, it's like a circle of monopoly, and it goes and it comes right back to me, So,
So what about your students?
My students?
How have you inspired your students? Tell us about their, what's going on with them.
I have so many stories. Oh my goodness. I have students that email me and they say, oh my, I can't believe it. My numbers are down. They're better on my blood count, because I post a lot of my meals on social media, and I do that on purpose. And people, I think, okay, some people really get tired of looking at my meals, but I really don't care, because what happens is I put words with my meals. For instance, I would just the other day I posted a nice piece of barbecue chicken, and
Oh, we lost you, Vicki. I think you might have to refresh. Oh, here she comes. Good.
You know what? I'm going to have to check out our Facebook page again.
Oh, it is great.
Yeah.
Yes, I also have a page that's called Focusing on Your Health with Vicki.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one too. But when I post my food, I do it on purpose, because I like to say, I talk about what I have on there. And then I talk about, in the words, I usually say, well, I used to add, this or that to it. Or I'd eat 3 or 4 pieces of this, as opposed to what you see pictured here. So I know that it works. I know that posting food and talking about eating healthy, it reaches people. Because you see it, you read it, and you say, oh my goodness. And then the next day you're like, here's that crazy woman again posting her food. So you see it and you eat, so it goes into your brain after a while to eat.
Vicki gets up. What time do you get up in the morning to walk?
Oh, I'm usually up between 4 and 4:15, because it depends on what time I have to be at work. And I make sure I walk, and my walks have been like 3 to 5 miles.
And she videotapes herself. She's like, all right, here I am. I'm getting out here and I'm doing this.
Yeah, I have videos that I have posted on YouTube and Facebook. And because I want people, people to see that you can think about doing it. You can watch my videos and say, oh, I'm going to do that. But until you actually do it, nothing's going to happen.
Vicki, I think you should Periscope. I think you should live stream your walks in the morning. I think,
You think so?
that would be inspirational.
Okay.
I'll hook you up with a friend who
Okay. Yeah, do that. That'd be great.
I Periscoped one time, and I Periscoped my foot by mistake, and that was not good.
Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that.
You might find people will get up and go with you.
Yes.
On
See,
Periscope.
that would work for me. It looks like Joan got in. I think she did.
Yes. So you not only get up at 4 a.m, you have 2 jobs.
I work 2 jobs.
Tell us about what you do.
I cook. Cooking. I love to cook. Is my passion. I've been cooking, with my mom since I was like 10 years old on a chair beside the stove right there. She'd pull it up and let me watch and stir and help her. And it's just something that I've always loved to do. And now that I have the advantage of knowing what's good for me and what's not, I use my cooking skills and make things that people don't think it's going to be good. I make it look great and tasty.
So Stephanie is in here. She's a friend of yours. She says that you are the best cook.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see her message there. Yes. I love to cook. She's had my food many, many times.
Well, I am all the way in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I want to eat your food because you posted it on Facebook. It looks so great.
Yes,
And,
I
know. I like that it's all real
all
food.
real food. Yeah, real food.
The
I'm not.
real deal.
Yep, no packaged food. I try to get fresh fruit and meats that are not needled or whatever. Just fresh meat, fresh food. I don't eat much red meat, but I eat a lot of chicken and turkey. A lot of it, like every day.
What's the difference now in how you cook compared to how you did before you lost the weight?
Ooh-wee. It's huge. It's huge. Before my breakfast would, be like grits. Do you guys know what grits are?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It would be like grits and eggs and maybe pancakes and ham and maybe some cheese in my eggs.
Now that you eat better, do you even miss that?
No, I don't miss it. And I serve it all the time. I cook it all the time and I don't miss it. I just say, oh, I used to eat this, and I remember what it made me feel like when I ate it. Now I use food as a tool in my life. It's a tool as opposed to just something to do. I think I was just eating just to have something to do, basically before. But now, when I need energy, for instance, yesterday, I was at work and it had reached about 9:00 a.m. And I said, oh my goodness, because I felt myself like losing energy. So I went immediately over to the stovetop and made myself a spinach, feta, red onion omelet with 3 eggs and ate it right away with water. And in seconds, I had my energy back. It really didn't take long at all. So when I know I need energy, I don't take pills. I don't need pills. I know what foods to eat to make me have energy.
Right, that was your blood sugar dropping. That's what was probably going on.
Yes.
So you just needed to boost that back up.
Uh-huh.
And you did the protein and the vegetables, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and water.
Right.
I've learned so much about food. It's ridiculous, along with the Zumba. And just to be able to help other people. That's the main goal It's for people to see me because I'm real. I keep my videos and everything are of me. They're not like somebody talking about something. They're me talking about me.
And how you did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you learn to change your eating? Did you just start researching on how to eat healthy? Did you have somebody help you? Did the doctor give you a lot of advice? What actually, I mean, from what the girl says on the side, that you cook wonderful, you have tons of flavor, and you don't use salt. So how did you learn that?
Well, some of the information that the doctor gave me in the pamphlets was talking about how salt is very bad for you. There's not too much that's good about it at all. So from that point, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut out salt completely. Of course, there's some things that you cannot avoid the salt in, but that's okay. It's okay to have some. But that's how I learned. I learned by researching. And then along come the diets and the things that, these pills and shakes. And if you read all of their memos too, everything says eat high protein, a lot of veggies, cut back on your starches, and all of those diets or whatever you call them, they're all the same. They have the same base. They want you to eat a lot of protein, eat a lot of veggies, stay away from the sugars and the salts. And that's basically, that's the ground of what I've been doing. And I can talk about it and but your mind, there has to be something that clicks in your mind. You have to be ready here to do it. You have to be ready, because if you're not ready, you can do it for like 2 days and then you're like, oh no, I got to have a piece of that brownie. I got to do it. But if you are ready, you can sit in front of the brownie, because I'm telling you, these holidays are coming up and I'm going to have what I want to eat, but I'm not going to be, eating crazy. I know what, I'm going to do already. Your mind has to be there. If your mind isn't there, then nothing is going to happen. Because all you're going to do is, just like we're doing here, just talk about it.
Right. Do you feel like you're on a diet or a lifestyle? Sorry,
No,
Nick.
No more diet. No diet.
Good for you.
I was on a diet at first. Now I'm going to do this every day. Every day I wake up, I'll be doing this.
That's the perfect way to think, because diets, you're never going to be successful. On a way of life, the way of eating, loving what you eat is how you're going to be successful.
Yes, I make sure.
Room, Shanice, everybody say hi to Shanice.
Yeah, that's my daughter. Hi, Shanice.
You should jump in if you want. If you hit the call-in button, you can come on in and say hi to your mom and say hi to us if you want. No pressure.
No pressure.
How old is your daughter?
She's 25.
How old? 25. Wow. Yeah. She's not a baby girl anymore.
No more baby girl. No more baby girl. Yes.
So you do something else around the holidays too. You're all about giving back, and tell us what you have going on for the holidays.
Okay, so for the last 3 Thanksgivings, and of course this one coming up, this is going to be a bigger one. What I do is I have my family, I have 6 brothers and 2 sisters, and they all have kids. I'm the only one with one. So we have a huge family and we do all the get together, but I also come home, my daughter and I, and we all also cook a full Thanksgiving meal as if all of those people are at my house. So if I visit my family for Thanksgiving, and then I have 1,000 invitations, I make it to about 6 of them to pass by people's house and just say hi or whatever, or have whatever they want me to have. And then I come home and my daughter and I get our food prepared and we package it and we go and give it to homeless people.
That's awesome.
And we do that every Thanksgiving. This year we're going to do it for Thanksgiving and for Christmas because we're blessed to do more, so we're going to do more.
That is so awesome.
Yeah,
Very proud of you.
and there's no coalition or organization or anything, because I see people every day. You walk by, drive by people, and they haven't eaten. You can tell by looking at them that they just haven't eaten. So we make meals, and we do it for the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because we have a lot of food. And I make sure, because I'm really big on shelf life, so I make sure I cook certain things and keep them at certain temperatures. And then by the time I give them to them, they can eat them safely. So, I make sure that I help homeless people because I was homeless once. I've been there with my daughter when she was newborn, and I know what it's like to get a nice hot meal. So I do it. I give it back.
That is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wish more people would do that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have this problem.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yes. It's not something that I wish it would just go away. Homelessness should not exist anywhere.
No, and it's so cold out during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's hard to see people in that situation.
Too cold. Unbelievably.
Yes.
And I don't know how, people do it, but they fill up the shelters or whatever. And then what happens when they're full? Then someone is outside still. So.
Right. And honestly, they can only be in the shelters for so long. Here in Cincinnati, they kick them out like at 5 a.m. I did some service down at a place called Nash Trinity Methodist Church, and I would get down there at 4:30 in the morning, and they would start to come in there and wait for breakfast to be ready at 5:30, and then they had so much time to be there, but once they closed it down, then they were going off to somewhere else. So it's a shame that they don't have somewhere where they can go 24/7. It's kind of like moving from one spot to the next.
Yes. And most of the people that are homeless here too. It's usually here too. Because if you ever find yourself in a homeless position, where I've been, what happens with your mind is you sort of lose contact with humanity. You mentally lose contact with humanity. So if you're a strong person, of course, you're able to recoup from that and do, and live a regular lifestyle. But if you can't, then you remain homeless.
Right. I know where I live, we had, and speaking of Veterans Day, and God bless our veterans,
yes.
We had a lot of veterans there that were struggling emotionally and physically. And that's very hard to watch. Yeah. And I would like to see the government take much better care of them.
That would be wonderful.
Yes, because they deserve it, definitely deserve it. But yes, you see all kinds when you're dealing with homeless, whether it's prostitutes or women with children, or I saw families come in with 3 and 4 kids, and we would just kind of pack up the food and have them take it with them to help them get through the week, because this shelter was only open on Sundays.
Yes. I also volunteer at a domestic violence shelter, and we see a lot of we have a lot of families that come in there. Actually, I'm an advocate. I do advocacy for them when I do volunteer. And boy, that's like sticking your head in the fire and then snapping yourself out of it, because I don't get to do it often. But when I do get to do it, it's like you have to put all of yourself into that, all of yourself into it, because you have families that were, I don't know, the parents were arguing or whatever, and that now they're homeless because of that, because they had to leave for their safety with their children, right. And it's just people outside, we had, I remember one time family came up, everybody was on a bicycle. It was like a mom and 4 kids on bikes, you know, just looking for shelter.
Right. Wow. You know,
Yeah.
when you do something like that, it brings life into reality. It makes you realize that what you have, you're pretty special and pretty lucky, and not to take things for granted.
That's why I believe that's why I'm a very real person. And I stay real. I keep myself grounded. I don't care what I do or what I become or who I am or whatever. I stay grounded because I appreciate everything. Everything. I wake up in the morning, I'm opening my eyes, I hear the alarm, I see the sun, every one of my senses work in every day. I appreciate that. From there is where I start my appreciation.
That's awesome.
Right. That's awesome. And do you think that's from the journey you've taken
Yes,
from, big to now? Like
absolutely.
I believe everything happens for a reason. And there was a reason that you had to go through that to be the person you are today. I'm not saying it's the most pleasant experience, but I watched Joan London on TV. I think that was her name. And she had breast cancer. And she's like, it took a breast cancer to make me realize how special my life was and how special my family was. And it brought
Oh
me
yeah.
down to earth and to reality. And she's like, I'm so glad it happened. But most people don't realize horrible things that you go through actually, I guess,
Ground
make us who we are.
it grounds
And then you look,
huh?
it does it. And then you look back and you're like, holy crap, no wonder that happened, because I needed to grow up.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
There's always, I have posted this a lot, Nikki. I think you've seen it. Everything that you feel like is bad that happens to you, there's something in there that you're going to learn about that was good from that. Every
Totally
bad thing
agree.
that happens in your life, you look back and say, now, oh, that's why that happened. I needed to know that or learn that or experience this part of that.
Right.
Somebody's
AJ,
asking
AJ
me
had a
now,
question.
now that
Yes.
you've rounded the corner nutritionally, have you experienced a change in your social circle? Um, I meet a lot of people daily, a lot of people. And what tends to happen is I start talking to them just like I'm speaking to you all, and they like what they hear. And I inspire people with words because my words are real. I'm not talking about something I read in a book or heard on the radio or saw on TV. I'm talking about things that I have actually done. Um, my social circle pretty much stays the same. It just grows. There's always adding more people to it.
I
So
was
I
going to
know a
say
lot of
you're one
people. I
person.
think I told Nikki the other day that I have had about 900 different Zumba students. So that's just from Zumba alone. That's not including the work that I do every day, in different places. But I love people. I'm a people person, and I am out there to help anybody who needs help.
I think,
Right.
what AJ might have been getting around to is that, if you were influenced by your friends when, to eat unhealthy, and if that since you're eating healthy, it's something that, people didn't come along with you on. But I think that you've always been a real person. So I can see where your social circle would not have changed
Right. It
that
doesn't.
much.
It doesn't change. I have friends of like 30 years, long time friends. We were teenagers or even elementary school friends. I have a long. I keep long time friends. I have very long time
That
friends.
is
Yes.
amazing. So you really want to help people, and you have a message for people who might be going down the wrong path nutritionally. What would you like to tell people about your journey and where you are now and where you
Um,
were then?
yes. Then I understand where people are. That's why I can be real about it. I used to eat my hamburgers from McDonald's and my Burger King and all of those burgers, all that delicious food. It's all delicious. They make it delicious. They add all this stuff to it, and it's absolutely delicious. Um, then all I was thinking about was how good it was, but I was not thinking about how it was treating my body. So, you have to like find a respect for yourself. You have to earn, you have to find in yourself where you know that you want to do things that are good for your body. And eating whatever you eat, they say you are what you eat, and that's basically the truth. If you eat a lot of junk food, your body's going to feel like junk eventually. If it doesn't right now, it'll catch up to you for sure. I promise you. If it doesn't show, you go take your numbers, you'll get your blood work done, and they'll freak out, But everyone has the ability to control what they eat. It's a matter of making up your mind to do it, though. You have to make up your mind to do it. If you listen to other people say it or read about it, that helps. But there has to be this click. There's a light bulb, and it clicks. And once that clicks, that's it. It becomes your lifestyle and no longer a diet plan.
Yeah, I call that investing in your health.
Yes, that's it. You have to invest in your health. When you feel like you need to be healthier, you will make that investment. And the investment is kind of simple. However, let me just say a little bit about when I told you I've been homeless before. At that time, I was doing the 99-cent burgers because I had $5, So I do 99-cent burgers and a fry for $1, and then a drink for $1, and apple pie for $1. So that's $4.26 or whatever it was. So that covered my $5. So sometimes economics can get people to a place where they feel like they are hopeless. And I know I felt hopeless. I was just eating whatever I could grab, whatever I could afford at that time. Now I find myself seeing and witnessing the same thing. I know it when I see it because I've been there. I recognize it. So I just try to, talk people into. So the other day, I'm going to tell this story and I'll be done. I went to McDonald's with a friend of mine, and I know she's a young single mom, blah, blah, blah. Been there before, done it. And I got 2 side salads and a baked chicken, not baked, a grilled chicken. And I asked for a bigger dish. So I made my salad in front of her. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? I said, okay, that costed you $4 and this costed me $3 and change with water. Which one is healthier? Look at what you're eating. Look at what I'm eating. It's the same thing. It's a frame of mind. You have to make it up in your mind to do it. If you don't have your mind made up, you'll just go buy anything and do anything. But once that mind clicks, that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Did you, and every journey has obstacles. What would you say your biggest obstacle was in your journey thus far? The biggest one you had to get over?
Plateaus.
You hit that wall and you stop losing weight. Yeah, those are tough.
Yes, plateaus are the hardest things to get over. A lot of people have setbacks from them. I don't even care anymore about them. I just keep doing what I do, and eventually, I noticed things like the other day. I took my apron off, and the people at my work were like, "Well, your clothes are hanging off of you." I was like, "Yeah, I guess they got bigger, or I got smaller. Which one?" So,
that's a good feeling when they get bigger.
Yeah.
Smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. So, plateaus are like the biggest obstacles.
Who was your biggest supporter through all this?
Shanice Mathis. Is she still in here? My daughter?
Yes, I think so.
That's the one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Even today, she herself, through what I've done, she's lost 40 pounds.
Wow. How awesome. You guys did that together.
She runs out there. She makes videos of her running, and she does the whole thing. See, It works. It works. I do it all, and then she's right behind me.
Well, it's so neat that you guys inspire each other.
Yes.
You know, mother, daughter. What a
Yes.
great bonding
Yes, we
experience.
keep
How
it.
awesome is
We keep
that?
it going. Somebody asked me if I find myself reading more label content than ever before. Every single thing I eat, everything I read about it before I eat it. Everything.
What do you stay away from? If you see like first, second, or third ingredient is, you're like, nope, sorry.
Carbs. I look for carbs first. Oh, sugar, salt. Those are my two no-nos. A lot of things have sugar and salt that we don't even know that they have sugar and salt unless we read the label.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite carb? If you were going to eat a carb, what would it be? Like if it's a carb day or you feel like you need carbs that day, what would be your carb go-to?
I think she's
I
frozen.
couldn't hear you. What did you say? I'm sorry. What's my what?
Oh, I said, what's your favorite carb go-to? Because obviously you have to have some carbs. So if you
Oh,
decide.
I was waiting on this question. There's this place called Something Sweet right up the road. It's a bakery. When I do want something, they have the mini cupcakes or whatever, and they come in all kinds of salted caramel flavored stuff, you know. So I'll go have one or two of them, and then I'm done. But you have to, so your
Nice.
mind has to know that you're only going to have that many, and
Right.
then you're done. And
You still,
it lasts for about a month. Like once a month, I'll go and do something, anything, you know, like that.
well, you still have to live life. You still have to enjoy life. It doesn't mean you have to eat protein and vegetables for the rest of your life. You still
Right,
can enjoy stuff in small quantities.
right. Red
Mhm.
Lobster
You know,
biscuits
Enjoy
too.
those
Red
little
Lobster's
moments.
biscuits.
You
Red
enjoy,
Lobster
yeah,
biscuits.
Sugar Bay biscuits. You enjoy those tiny moments just that much more.
Yes, I appreciate it more. See, I
Yes.
appreciate those things that I eat only a certain amount of now. Before I wasn't able to do that. I already know, you know, like if I'm at a gathering and they have a table full of dessert, I'm going to come with a plate full of dessert and eat the plate full of dessert, you know, normally before. But now I choose what I'm going to eat out of that table and say, okay, I put my focus on one thing there and say, oh, okay, that's what I'm going to have. And I know that I don't even need to read that label, Quinn, whoever this is here. I don't even need to read the label because it is full of sugar, salt, and fat. I know. So, but I take, like they say, you can't be like a robot. You have to enjoy yourself and have a nice balance.
Kath also
Right.
lives in Florida, Vicky.
Hmm?
Kath
lives in Florida. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I would say one thing that I've learned when I decide you could call it a cheat meal or just really enjoy something I love is I have no regrets. I do it, I enjoy it, and I savor every little bite. You know, there's no regrets. I know people that just they eat that cupcake and then they beat themselves up when
Oh,
they're
yeah.
done, and you can't do that.
Nope.
You just have to enjoy that moment,
Yep.
live it, be it, and then when it's done and move on.
You have to like really enjoy it. Like I'm like on another island somewhere going la la la. You know, I'm really enjoying it. I put my whole self into it, saying yes, and then I come back to earth and I say, okay, and just keep going. You know, it's like your feet are going, and then you hit the ground, and then you keep going. You know.
A couple Zumba moves when you're eating those mini cupcakes.
There you go. There you go.
That is awesome.
So, are you moving in any different? Sorry, Nick. Are you
No, go
moving in any different ways now, other than Zumba and walking? Have you tried anything different to kind of get through those plateaus when they hit?
No, not yet. But I've been having. Oh well, I go to the gym too. I
Oh,
go to
okay.
the gym every chance I get. I love the elliptical. It kills me. I used to be able, when I first started that, I did like 7 minutes on it. Now I can do an hour. And it's killer. I go in there for an hour and I'm done. But I love it. I love the elliptical.
So are you a TV person when you're on the elliptical, or do you crank the tunes? Because we know you like music.
Oh, I love music. Um, usually listen to music when I'm cleaning, or just at home cleaning. I like watching the tube. I don't get a lot of chance. I don't get a lot of opportunity to do that. So most of the time, if you ever see me at work, I always have this thing around my neck. It's a Bluetooth, and it's hooked to my phone. So I'm constantly listening to music, constantly. So at work, I'm listening to music. At home, I watch the tube unless I'm cleaning.
Shanice has a question. What has been your favorite non-scale victory since losing weight?
My favorite non-scale victory has been just the like willpower. Like my mind has become so. My mind was always powerful, but I didn't use it in a positive way. But I didn't realize how powerful my mind was until I started this journey. Because
I bet just reducing the sugar intake had cleared up a lot of the brain fog.
Yes, definitely. My mind is clear. Like everything is clear. It's like I can see. I told my daughter, like, when I go to bed at night, I already know what I'm going to eat for breakfast because my mind is made up. My mind controls that whole thing. If I think I'm going to eat a stack of 6 pancakes, that's what I eat when I wake up. But my mind controls all of that. And I try to tell her that everything is controlled by the mind. It is everything around us. When we start thinking about something, eventually that's what's going to happen.
AJ has a question about experimenting now with herbs and spices and maybe even moving toward organic vegetables and foods.
I haven't thought about organic foods, but I do use a lot of onion and garlic, black pepper, cayenne pepper, vinegar, apple vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I use that.
I was telling them last week.
You
have to tell your story. She did a video where she did a shot of apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
I think I laughed for 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness, I did it on camera and it was so vicious. It was vicious.
She kept trying to talk and she was just
I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. And I don't always take that much. But I wanted to do a shot glass just to show people that it's hard. It does a lot of good things for you. Vinegar, it's very good for you. I read up on that, and I was like, okay, I'll be taking a tablespoon of that a day. But I did a shot for the video, so it was
had
fun.
A question similar to AJ's.
Okay,
what is a menu item that you love to eat that you hacked it to be more healthy, and how did you do it?
Meatloaf.
So how did you hack meatloaf to be more healthy?
Well, most people put breadcrumbs or they put bread or breadcrumbs in there to keep it together. And I put either chia seeds.
Oh, that's a good one. Never thought of that.
Yeah,
love that.
Chia seeds and egg yolk in there, and it holds it together just as good.
Wow. I heard that zucchini makes a good binder instead of breadcrumbs. Like zucchini. You shred up zucchini.
Yeah, that's another good one. And so is cauliflower. Anything that's like, like white, it'll hold things together.
I wonder how dates would taste in meatloaf. It would give it a sweetness.
I think that'd be good. I think that'd be really good.
Or maybe on top. You know how usually you put ketchup or barbecue sauce on top? Put some dates on top. I don't know, that sounds kind of good to me. Maybe that's gross to other people.
I see Stephanie over there laughing. Stephanie's also cooks with the chia seeds. Yeah. And my daughter says, I always, whenever I have a burger, there's no bread. never use bread. I just posted one yesterday. It was a mushroom Swiss avocado burger with a salad. It was great.
Ooh.
Now, do
Yeah.
you wrap it in lettuce or you just cut it up and
I
eat
put
it?
it on the bed of lettuce, usually. Sometimes I put
Yeah,
it on the
that's
bed,
what I
just
do.
put it there and just eat it.
Right, that's what I do. And I've seen they took a portobello mushroom and they put the hamburger in between two portobello mushrooms and use those
I
for the bun.
kill that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Mine would probably shoot across the room.
I love portobello mushrooms. You can
Oh,
use them for
yes, me
bread
too.
anywhere for me.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That would be so good.
What is
So
your
when you,
favorite all-time meal? Sorry.
no, you're fine.
Mine,
Mhm.
I
Favorite
like
meal.
grilled tilapia. I love grilled
Oh,
tilapia.
yeah, I've seen a few grilled tilapias on your Facebook page.
Yes.
Spinach?
Yes, I love grilled tilapia. I love broccoli and I love green beans. Cabbage too, like fried
Yeah, me
cabbage.
too.
Yeah, I love fried cabbage.
If you want to try to boost your immune system, or not your immune system, your not your immune system, your to get your body to burn fat more. I'm having a brain fart right now.
Metabolism.
Metabolism, that's
Yes.
it.
Win.
Sorry. And this is something that I talk about all the time. Taking a probiotic. Do you take a probiotic at all?
Not yet, but I have like 5 people coming from different angles talking about probiotics to me.
Well, if you're afraid to jump into the probiotic, start looking into prebiotics.
Okay.
And prebiotics is the food that feeds the bacteria in your gut, which will get your metabolism going. And it's normal foods like garlic and onion and leeks and what's the weed out in your front yard? Dandelion.
Okay.
Stuff like that feeds that good bacteria, and it's really going to kind of boost your immune system and your metabolism. So instead of not being ready for the probiotic, which is fine, you'll do it when you're ready, look into prebiotics, which is really going to feed your immune system and feed those good bacteria, which is going to speed up your metabolism.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just something to think
So
about.
prebiotic and probiotic, and I'm going to read up on that to find out what's pre and what's pro. Because
yeah, the probiotic is actually the bacteria that lives in our gut, and it when we feed it right, which is prebiotic foods, vegetables, it gets really strong and we get really healthy.
Right.
But we also need bad bacteria in our body because they kind of play off of each other. But we need more good than bad. So when we eat sugars and carbs and processed foods, that feeds the bad bacteria, and then that's when we start to have high inflammation in the body, when we start to feel sick. So since you're not ready to take a supplement to put the good bacteria in, you just need to start feeding the good bacteria that you already have. And it sounds like you're doing that with onions and garlic.
All right.
You can add some.
Eat so much of that stuff. I love onions. Hi, Joan.
Right,
How are you? She's saying hi. Hello, Joan.
Hey, Joan. We're glad you stopped by. Vicki,
Yes.
this has been amazing. And I knew that Blab was going to love you. And you have such a great story and you're such an inspiration.
Definitely.
Everybody follow Vicki on Facebook. You will not regret it. She puts up great content, very inspirational. I love seeing Vicki's stories come over the timeline.
Yes, I do.
Tell everybody where to find you. Yes, real stories.
Story.
There's 2 different places on Facebook people can find you. Tell people.
One of them is under my name, Vicki L. Mathis, and the other one is Focusing on Your Health with Vicki. So you can find me on both of those pages, and I just like to talk about people being healthy, especially for people who don't think that they can reach a point to where they say they're healthy.
Some people don't even know how to be healthy, and that's great that you're there to help them.
There has to be a starting point. And, I started from almost being hospitalized to now. So I just keep going. And when I meet people, I've met quite a few people who have had, knee problems and back problems and stuff like that due to their weight. And at that point, you have to eat properly to lose weight, and then you're able to do the walking or do the leg lifts or whatever you can do. But there's always something that you can do.
Well, I just have to say, wow, you go, girl. Keep
All
it
right.
up and just keep on doing it. You're doing awesome.
Thank you so much.
It's 10 o'clock. Join us next week. We are talking about stress
Okay.
and your health with Emily Maynor from Emily Maynor Living.
Okay.
And that will be next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I'd love, and Vicki, you are invited back anytime you want.
Okay.
If you want to come talk to us some more, we'd love that.
Alrighty. And I will be I'll be contacting you a little bit around the holidays to let you know. I'll probably take some videos and let you all use them for whatever you need to use them for.
Definitely. Thank
That'll
you.
be wonderful.
See you
Alrighty.
next week on